Hello, my name is Elika Nazaya Eno. So today I'm going to talk about the origin and history of international relations. Prior to the 1648, the history of international relations begins with the post-Westphalian world, followed by European 19th century and the main transition of 20th century. The Westphalian world in the 1648, the year of the treaty intended to conclude 30 years of conflict, marked the end of religious authorities in Europe and the establishment of cellular authorities, which laid the groundwork for contemporary international relations. Here, the concept of territorial integrity of states as legally equal and sovereign participants in the international system arose, resulting in emergence of the Greek system, the Roman Empire, and varied degrees of centralization and decentralization as significant development of the Westphalian order. So in the Greek system state, the Greeks were organized into like autonomous states and engaged in traditional power struggle as its military battled nations to maintain economic links and traded with one another, establishing a strong Plato and Aristotle philosophical heritage. As they competed for dominance, all states maintained peaceful relations with one another. This was a predecessor to the contemporary state system. The Greek cities were absorbed into Roman Empire between the 15 BC and the 400 AD, paving a way for the formation of bigger political institutions whose leaders imposed order and control via force by expanding territorial reach while preserving local identity. They were like numerous forms of government such as Roman protocols, consuls, local bureaucrats, and administrators. Hence, power was like centralized. So we also see, due to the decentralization of power and authority in Europe during the Middle Ages, as a result of travel, commerce, and communications among merchants and common inhabitants, three civilizations emerged. Those three were, the first one was the Arabic civilization, the second one, the other one, which the Arabic civilization, which it tries to unify the Arabic language and accomplish in mathematics and technological, and was characterized by unity, while we have the other one which was the Byzantine Empire, where the Roman Empire authorities was absent, language and culture diverge, and the Roman Empire developed communication and transport, which later dissolved. So we also see feudalism. Feudalism placed power and authority at a very overlapping level and placed authority in a private hands. So the most notable institution of authority was the church, which was the headquarters in Rome, and also likewise economic life was largely local. So establishing a central political power was very difficult, and in Europe cellular tendency began to undermine the decentralization of feudalism and universalization of Christianity. As a result of this, like availability of safer transport routes, trade grew substantially. Technology and communication also improved, like trading contacts were established and diplomatic methods that benefited trade image. So paving the way for present diplomatic activities. This resulted in the transformation of social connection as a new group of individuals known as the transitional business community emerged, which was a great experience outside the sphere of of the church, which had previously dominated school. So we also have art, history, and philosophy we also developed as a new interest. So the second group consists of authors who were introduced to classical literature and history. So I will also talk about the establishment of the Westphalian system. So as a state perceived the necessity to be perpetual sovereignty was being adopted, limiting the leaders to constitutional legislature, covenants, and international agreement. So after the Westphalian Treaty, all the European states attained sovereignty. So the Roman Empire ceased to exist, and each monarch was permitted to adopt the faith they considered appropriate. So the concept of territorial states was recognized. In addition, so I would like try to say that there was the right not to interfere with like other government like concerns. So the states developed permanent national military, and leaders acquired total command over the armed forces. So as weapons got more sophisticated, larger, to territorial entities gained an advantage. A core group of states was established, which dominated the world until the beginning of the 19th century. So the West saw economic revitalization and through capitalism and like private entrepreneurship. So widely the East opted for feudalism custom. So in the West, infrastructure development and bank expansion encouraged trade, while in the East, agriculture was being prioritized, and economic shift took place. Two revolutions arose in the 19th century, commonly known as the Age of Enlightenment, which was the American against the British control and the French against absolute government. So in conclusion, I would say after the Berlin Wall in the 1989, globalization emerged, and as new lens through to the see international relations gave rise to contemporary perspective on international relations. So as states engage in interstate commerce to advance their respective national interests, technology, communication, and infrastructure are vastly advanced. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.